I happen to be of the opinion that silver should be at $60. I get a lot of heat for that, right? Gold, let's say 2600 right now, but heading closer to 3,000. But just focus in on silver. Right now, it takes 85 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. It is absolutely astounding. That's the silver to gold ratio. Yeah, you would have to trade in 85, 83, whatever, depending on what price you get, ounces of your silver to get 1 ounce of gold. Guys, to me, that just absolutely only means one thing. The price of silver is too low. Okay? Historically, right? That ratio has always been much lower. 17 to 1 is one that's often quoted, but I often hear as well that currently, from a mine production perspective, there's only 7 ounces of silver mined every year for each 1 ounce of gold. So, how can that ratio be so out of whack? If we had a, let's say, 20 to 1 silver to gold ratio right now, that would put silver at what, $100 almost? 190? $180? How does that make you feel? And that's more in line with the historic numbers. I'll keep my silver until 60 to 1, Snakebite says. Yeah, I mean, guys, has the ratio been higher? I believe there have been some periods in time when it has been higher. But that alone, for those of us who are silver stackers, right? You know, it just indicates to us how vastly undervalued right now the price of silver is. And why is that? Do you think maybe it's because of manipulation at the COMEX and the LBMA? Do you think that has anything to do with it? We know there have been massive judgments against JP Morgan and other big banks for the proven manipulation of the price of silver. We know right now that the inventory levels at the COMEX and the LBMA are at near historic lows. We know that at some point, right? But we've been waiting 15 years. And you know what? I got something I want to talk to you about that I received a very nasty comment on one of my videos, and I want to address that with you. But we know eventually that the physical demand for silver will overwhelm the digital manipulation unicorn fart dust, right? There it is. The old unicorn fart dust. I think it's Jeff that sent that t-shirt to me. Thank you very much, Jeff. So I got a comment on one of my videos, a guy named, I think it was Ammo Master. And look, he's entitled to his own opinions. He's entitled to say, within reason, anything he wants. And he basically accused me of manipulating people into buying silver because, you know, like promising them that they would get rich. Guys, please let me know. Have I ever promised you that silver would get you rich? Right? What I think I try to communicate, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to manipulate anyone, is that silver is a great way to maintain your wealth. It keeps up with inflation. You know, it's been valuable for 5,000 years. That's what I always preach to people. Do I think it's vastly underpriced right now? Do I think it should be $60 or $70 an ounce right now? Yes. And I say that based upon what I think are the mathematical facts behind it. Is it going to get you rich? There's a chance, right? There's a chance that at some point in the future, sure, you might be able to buy a house for, I don't know, 500 ounces of silver, 1,000 ounces of silver, maybe even 100 ounces of silver, because that's what happened during the Weimar hyperinflation in Germany. But I don't think I'm out there telling you, oh, buy silver because it's going to get you rich. I don't know. Please tell me. You want your money back? Sorry, yeah, Daryl. Yeah. No, I mean, it can, right? Yeah, rich, and then it defines rich as well, right? Like, I feel pretty rich. I don't have any debt. I always say that's one thing I will preach to people is try to get yourself out of debt and then get some silver, get some gold. If you like gold, then you can maybe take risk on mining stocks. But I don't, you know, to me, that's rich. I have two beautiful kids, a wife, Susie, Silver Susie. You all know her. My mom and dad are upstairs right now. We just wrapped up dinner. That's rich, right? Is there a chance, right, that we could be in a situation in the future where silver, because of circumstances that unfold, does, in relative value, relative to how many ounces of silver it takes to buy a car or a house or something else, that we are in a situation where it's very favorable to be holding part. Yeah, that could happen, right? But I don't hope I don't promise you guys. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'm rich in faith. Hey, Daryl Glass. And then he's going to get rich in precious metals. That's awesome. Ron, okay. Metal has nor counterpart, best way to get out of the system of debt. Hey, Nick the Ice Pick, good to see ya. Yeah, guys. I believe in precious metals. That's what I believe. A lot of you do as well. We've done our own research. I'm no absolute all-knowing guru, but you know what? Nobody is. Nobody is. The gurus were telling people to buy Enron stock right before Enron blew up. So don't, do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. Are people selling silver right now? Yes. I get reports, right? People are buying silver, but we got a lot of people selling silver as well. And I think it's so important to remember, buy what you can afford and I always bought silver that I knew I could hold on to and that I'd really, hopefully never need to sell. Now, if the situation arises and we've got like a great opportunity to, like I said earlier, to trade some metals for some other real assets because the relative value has gotten so far out of stock, yeah, sure, but buy what you can hold and then you don't have to worry about it. I like to say this, right? Here's a beautiful 1 ounce round, came from my good friend Coin Shop Chris, right? And on May 5th, just like 6 weeks ago, silver was trading at $26.20. It's down to $22.50. Do I like that? If I'm measuring it in fiat money? No, I don't like that. But guess what? This is the same 1 ounce of silver right now, today, that it was 6 weeks ago. And you know what? 6 weeks from today, this is still going to be 1 ounce of silver, period. Now, will the price in US dollars fluctuate? Absolutely it will. Yes, we know that, right? It's manipulated. We know that. But the value, and whether we're talking about platinum, like our great friend, the platinum guru, who's here right now, Neil Hahn. Go check him out if you want to learn about platinum. Platinum's the same way. That could have been a platinum coin. That could have been a gold coin. That could have been a copper coin, right? It's real stuff, guys. That's the key that we have to remember. Buddy Rumble told me something. You know who Buddy Rumble is? Buddy Rumble is the Louisiana gold guru, a friend of the channel. And he taught me something new, and I'm going to share it with you, okay? Because I would always preach. One thing I will preach, I know this about silver, gold, and platinum, and the price and all that great stuff. Number one, they're universal. All throughout the world, everywhere, right? They have value everywhere. I don't care if you're in South America, North America, Africa, Asia. Everybody loves gold. Everybody loves silver. Everybody loves platinum. They have value. They're also timeless, right? You know that whole story. An ounce of silver bought a bushel of wheat 2,000 years ago. What does it buy today? A bushel of wheat. Important we remember that when we're talking about massive food inflation. But Buddy brought up something, a third component that I never really thought of. And this is another big key cool thing that we have to remember about silver and gold. They're apolitical. They don't have any political favorites, right? They've gone through every political scheme, system, communism, socialism, democracy, monarchies, you name it. They've seen in a period we're in right now with all the political upheaval, geopolitical turmoil like we've never seen before. Have you seen it like this before? Have you? I'm 53 years old. I never remember, honestly, objectively, a period of time where we have so much strife and turmoil, disagreement in the world. The world is splitting in two. On August 22nd, James Rickard says we're going to hear about a new gold-backed currency being announced by the BRICS. And James Rickard's, hey, he's respected. So we are at a period where the fact that silver and gold are apolitical, what do you think that'll do for the value? We always want to talk about the price. The price of silver, $60, $600, $6,000. Gold, who knows, right? There's outlandish sounding predictions for gold as well, but it could happen, right? I mean, let's go back to this story. I think this is so great. Think about just recently, some farmer in Kentucky found, 800 gold, 1 ounce gold coins in his field, right? A cornfield. 800 Confederate Civil War era, gold coins, okay? They're worth millions. Now think about this. Whoever buried those coins, that would have been 1850, something like that? If they'd buried Union greenbacks, that was the money used by the Union, which is still good today, apparently, right? They could have buried the equivalent amount of Union greenbacks. They could have buried the equivalent amount of Confederate dollars. If that farmer had dug up those greenbacks or those Confederate dollars, sure, they've got some collector premium associated with them. They probably would have degraded also. Don't forget that, right? They probably would have fallen apart. They probably would have even been noticeable. They would have been part of the earth again. But that guy buried gold coins in 170 years later, those gold coins held their value through all that. What does that tell us? I think that's a great story. And by the way, great story. Before I forget, my daughters had a lemonade stand today, which meant I had a lemonade stand today as well. And we had a couple people who donated, and I want to recognize them very quickly. Kevin Powers, thank you. Jeremy Singer, thank you guys for donating to the girls' lemonade stand. That was awesome. And when you guys do give me super chats during the live streams, during the videos, that's much appreciated as well. Very much appreciated. And don't forget, thumbs up really helps. If you press that thumbs up and we get to 100, I'm going to ring the bell 10 times, right? And do I have to ask you, beg you, please, to subscribe to the channel? That would be awesome as well. So in this time of what's going on in Russia, I don't know about you, but to me, that whole situation had my spidey sense tingling like, this is weird what's going on. And I don't know what really transpired. There's a lot, who knows is what I'm going to say. All I do know is that it made me feel very uneasy. But that's why we hold silver and gold, right? We know the Russians love silver and gold. The Chinese love silver and gold. The Americans love silver and gold. We all do. Here's some good news for silver and gold investors right now. Right now, something we can take solace in. Silver price and gold price, they've been paddling the canoe against the current the last couple of years, and they've done pretty well. They've held in there pretty darn well. Hello, James Berryhill. Good to see you. Now, so let's take solace in that. I know silver's gotten beaten down lately, but still $22 silver, not horrific. Holding in there, right? Fighting a good fight. Here's some really good news. Pull up a chart of the US dollar. Now we don't get all technical on this channel and all that, but we need to look at the charts every once in a while. When the US dollar goes up, gold goes down. If you look at a 35 years period, okay, the last 35 years, the US dollar's only been this high or higher 3 out of the last 35 years, maybe 5 out of the last 35 years. What that means is when the dollar comes down, when it heads back towards its average, that's going to be good for the price of gold, the price of silver, based in US dollars. And I know, here I'm preaching at you, an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver, and now I'm talking about the price in dollars, but we do pay attention to that, or wherever you're joining us from, wherever in the world you right now are joining, whatever your local currency is, right? You follow how much gold costs in your local currency, and because that affects silver, and that affects how you can live your life, how you can convert whatever you may need to convert to use for your daily living expenses. You know, I'm so sick of Jerome Powell. The guy comes up with more new and creative ways to lie to people than I think is anybody in history, right? And when we talk about the dollar and the impact it has on the price of gold, we can't talk about that without recognizing our old friend Jerome Powell at the United States Federal Reserve, right? And guys, it's all a mirage. It's all smoke and mirrors. Remember, I mean, this is a fact that we can totally is not arguable. The US dollar is backed by nothing. Nothing. Now, don't forget. Hello, Michael. Oh, well, thank you. Maybe I didn't see it yet. I'll have to go check. Thank you. Yeah, my daughters had a lemonade stand, and some people bought cups of virtual lemonade, which was very nice because the girls, I don't know, my daughters I wish they would be into silver, right? I've tried, but what they're really into right now are baseball and football cards, which I'm like, oh, it's paper. It's printed. They like to exchange their fiat for pieces of cardboard with sports pictures on them. But hey, at least they're into collecting something, and they're 11 years old. They got they'll learn about silver and gold from me via osmosis. What's going on in America right now? People are, what's the latest percentage? I see all these articles saying, 60%, 70% of Americans report that they're having a hard time making ends meet, paying their bills, paying their electric bill, food, right? And we've talked about this at nauseum, the fact that the price of food is likely to be shooting up hugely here in the coming months. But we get more and more reports. I'm seeing it today. Are you seeing it out there? Let me ask that the first question. Are you seeing that your fellow Americans are suffering? Yes or no? Eat more eggs. Yeah, I guess that's a good reason they have chickens, right, Robert Fuderer? Hey, don't get mad about baseball and football cards, Matt Tyndall says, and all that stuff. I made a lot of money selling my baseball cards when I was a kid. I'm 45 now and still got some money. All right, sounds good. Yeah, the whole baseball card thing has really taken off, and it's like they buy these packs and there's like one signed card. It's very interesting. Neil says, when oil sustains at 100 a barrel, America will be producing like mad. Yes. Everyone's choking in here. All right. Snake bite. Yes. Snake bite seas. Fellow Americans, right? Suffering, struggling. Generic Stacker says Uncle Sugar will have to send a stimulus to your CBDC account. Hey, Susie. Yes, there's beautiful Susie. We love you, Susie. I got info. You want to? Oh, yeah, I got to call Coin Shop Chris. Thank you. I had that. It's written down. That was going to happen. I'm going to call Coin Shop Chris. We're going to have him live here in just a few minutes. Daryl Glass says we're all suffering. Food prices seem to have gone up at least 20 to 50% in the last couple of years. Yes, absolutely. Go to the grocery store. It's painful. You are always commenting about negative opinions. Okay. I did find a good deal on bacon for 97 cents a pound. Everything costs more. Generic says, hi, Susie. No spam or treat for me. Okay. Bell, did we get to 100? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bells. 1 bell for each 10 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. We all love Susie. We all love Coin Shop Chris, too, right? Chris, and we're going to call Chris right now. What the heck? Ricky's House of Crap. Buy silver now while you can before it's all gone. I'm getting that feeling, too, Ricky. I actually bought some last week. I think I shared with you guys. And I'll share with you in a minute why I bought. I bought some 1965 to 1969, 40% Kennedy half dollars because I'm a tightwad and I wanted to buy the silver for as close to spot as possible. Also, the other 60% of those coins happen to be copper, so I call them the electrification coin. All right, let's call Coin Shop Chris. See if we can get this technology to work here. You guys want me to call Coin Shop Chris? Type 1. Okay. Coin Shop Chris. There he is. Phone. Okay, speaker. It's ringing. Hey, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey. Hi, you're on the live stream.
I see that.
Okay. Everybody can hear you now.
Okay.
What's going on? What do you have for us?
Well, there was a couple people wanted to know about kilo bars and this 100-ounce bars. Me personally, Ron, I don't buy them. And the reason why is I think it's just too much silver for me at one time. If we get to these, I don't want to call $150 an ounce of silver crazy, but right now it seems crazy. You take a 100-ounce bar, you're looking at 15 grand. Who's really going to have 15 grand to buy it? I mean, it could come down to play where, the motor companies will buy it off you. I mean, just people, need to think how much, they use, meaning, how much they buy at the store now, and trying to convert that, and I hate to use the word dollars again, but that's the easiest term I can think of. Me personally, I don't buy any more than a 10-ounce bar.
Right.
But I did find a couple deals out there for some kilos and 100-ounce bars.
Well, let me interject. Let me interject one thing, because I think a lot of people, or some people, don't realize a kilo is roughly 30 ounces, right? So you can think of like three 10-ounce bars.
32.15 ounces.
Okay.
Or 1,000 grams.
Gotcha.
Depending what bar you're looking at, because overseas uses grams. Here in the States, we use ounces.
Gotcha.
So it's all so 100 grams, 1,000 grams, or 32.15
ounces.
So that is a kilo. So on the kilos, I found on Liberty Coin on eBay. I know some people don't like eBay because they think it's a scam and blah blah blah, but you're actually buying it from the company itself. So Germania. Kilos at 2:00 this afternoon before the market actually opened tonight. They were $813.96. That brings it down to be $26.13 per an ounce. At Max, the same bar at Max. I checked eBay again. I did not go to the sites directly. I only checked the eBay site. They were $851.65 for the same bar.
Okay.
$37.69 savings between the two companies.
That's like a free American Silver Eagle.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, this is what I'm trying to get to people is you got to shop around. I mean, if you want to pay more, that's your business.
Yeah.
But I guess, that's $27.35 per an ounce at Max versus $26.13 over Liberty Coin.
Okay. Thank you.
So on your 100-ounce bars, let's see, where did I put that one at? Liberty Coin, I went with, now there are cheaper kilos out there. Just to let everybody know that this is not exactly the best price out there. I just was trying to compare apples for apples with one particular bar. So, just to let people know that is not the cheapest price out there. I was just trying to compare two different companies to show what I'm trying to say here. On your 100-ounce bars, this is from the secondary market now, meaning someone sold these to the company. Over at Liberty Coin, your secondary 100-ounce bars were $2,439.57, around 2:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
At Max was a little bit. At Max had a pretty good price on these. They were a little bit more. They were $2,449 even. That's still a $9.43 savings to Liberty Coin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big. It's not big, but still, it's almost $10. I would like to address a couple comments. Then I'll let you go, Ron.
Okay.
Somebody said, Walmart sells silver. Well, it's not actually Walmart selling silver. It might be on their website. It's called third-party sellers.
Mm-hmm.
I would not Atmax, excuse me. Amazon does the same thing.
Yeah.
The third-party sellers. It's not coming directly from Amazon or Walmart. It's coming from third-party sellers. I would caution people from getting those from those two websites. eBay, yes, I'll be honest. I got a 1 ounce silver bar this past week. It was fake, guys. It was fake. So I'm going through the process now of getting my money back through eBay. I should not have gotten it. It was a new seller on eBay. 0% feedback. I took a chance. Well, guess what? It's fake. Now I'm going through the process of getting my $28.89 back.
Yeah.
So yes, it does happen. It's not eBay's fault. eBay don't know it's fake. eBay is a source. They find the seller. They find the buyer.
So I want to. Let me interject something, Chris, because I think this, and I know that I'm 99% sure you agree with this, that if you're buying something on eBay, check out the seller's history, and even better, if you're going to buy something on eBay, like you said, buy it from a reputable company, a company like Liberty Coin or Bullion Exchanges, or or even AppMax if it's the best price, because you're not. If eBay's facilitating the transaction, you're not buying it from eBay. You're buying it directly from. It's going to get shipped to you. You're buying it shipped from Liberty Coin or Bullion Exchanges, or
Exactly.
yeah, and that if you buy it on Amazon or Walmart, again, they're doing kind of the same thing. They're just facilitating the transaction. But you don't necessarily, I guess if, you make sure you check out really thoroughly who you're actually buying it from. That's the key.
That's another good point, Ron, because, AppMax or don't sell on Walmart, they might say it's AppMax.
Right.
But be very, very careful with the wording. If AppMax don't have the actual logo next to the listing, it's not AppMax.
Gotcha.
If SD Bolin don't have their logo right next to their listing, it's not SD Bolin or Bolin Exchanges.
Okay.
When I get stuff off of eBay directly from Liberty Coin, Bolin Exchanges, the package ships right from that company.
Hey, guess what, Chris? Remember the Sarge? Remember Sarge?
Yes.
Somebody says, Adrian says he's overseas. Susie says, really? Yeah, because we've been missing the Sarge, and we were like, I wonder what happened to the Sarge, So yeah, the Sarge is overseas. Let's hope he's safe, right?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I just got two more. I want to address two more comments, and I will let you go, Ron. There was a comment on our last video. If anybody's not seen our last video we did, please check that one out. It's worth the watch. I think you're going to enjoy it on that one. But the next comment I want to address, one of the comments on the last video on that we did, is how can these companies sell it cheaper on eBay than their own website? Well, they pay, what I'm understanding, they pay eBay a fee for the store. eBay don't charge the fees that most people get charged.
Right.
And then since it's going through eBay, they don't have to pay that extra fee to maintain their own website.
Yeah.
This is why you might be able to get it a little bit cheaper that way.
It's not like when you or I sell something on eBay and they charge us 10% fee or something like that. It's they're just probably paying a $20,000 a year or something like that. Then they can sell as much as they like and not pay.
Whatever that fee is, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. Somebody says here, Jim Tillepow says you can get a 100-ounce bar at Monument Metals for $24.53. That seems like a pretty good price.
$24.53. Well, it's cheaper at Liberty Coin, the secondary market for $2,439.57.
Yeah, well,
a little bit cheaper.
I was looking last night. I have my eye on a 100-ounce Britannia silver bar, just shopping around, and there was a range of prices from anywhere from like 2,900 all the way down to like 2,500. There was like a $400 price difference between name brand companies. I'm like, man, if somebody's not careful, I mean, $400, you can get yourself you can get yourself a good little stack of silver for saving $400, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's what, this is what why pay more?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's the point I'm trying, I'm trying to save everybody moolah, where they can get more silver or gold, or our friend Platinum, our friend Neil, that I know he's watching right now. Yeah, we need to start stocking some platinum too.
Yeah.
So one more quick point I want to make. There's a lot of rumors out there, where 90% silver is going to be all dried up by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just address that comment. 90% silver is in short supply.
Yeah.
Is it going to be gone totally? I think no matter what happens, Sean, and to everybody who's listening to this tonight, it will be out there in some form. It's just going to be how much is the price going to be.
Right.
So, when people start passing on and the family gets it and they don't know what it is, really, and they sell it to the coin shops, it will be out there. I'm having a hard time finding it right now.
Right.
It's been a hard time trying to find it right now. I'm not saying it's not out there.
Yeah.
It's just at what cost you're going to be able to get it.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm able to get some of it, 90% silver on eBay right now, for 20 times face.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot. It's like one coin here, one Franklin $half here, one rock in here, one 1964 Kennedy. It's like 3 coins at a time. But at the end of the day, it all adds up.
Yeah. Is silver down tonight? I didn't get a chance to look before I got on.
I have not. I've not looked when we came on, Ron.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody on the comments said silver's down since the market opened, so that's all right. It's a long game, right, buddy?
I'm not worried about the silver price one bit. I will say this again: it's better to get it on the way down,
right?
Trying to get it on the way up.
Yeah. Hey, Lynette.
Just cost average.
Yeah, that's right. That's on my notes here. Now you took one of my talking points. Always dollar cost average, guys. Buy in a little bit at a time. Buy once a month. Buy once. I don't have a schedule, but I tend to buy silver probably, feels like maybe 3 times a year. And I also like to kind of wait until the price has been going down like it did the last couple of weeks. And then make a buy. Of course, I don't time it perfectly, right? Nobody does, but I do. I'm kind of combining a dollar cost average approach with waiting when after it's started to pull back a little bit. And look, I'm not getting rich doing it or anything, but I think in the long run, if you can accumulate silver at a pretty good average price if you are willing to dollar cost average.
And one more quick thing, Ron. I like to thank, some of your viewers out there. They have coming back that we have helped them out with talking about different prices and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if people don't believe what I'm saying, please check what I'm saying out to be true.
Right. Right.
Double check me.
Right.
Some of these prices you might hear on a certain night. When you actually watch the video, it might not be that same exact price because the market it's moving all the time.
Right.
So, I can't give you an exact price when you're going to watch the video.
And we aren't trying to sell you anything. All of you who are joining us right now, right? We're not trying to get you to put an order in with us or with any other specific company. Okay, we don't have affiliate links. We're not sponsored. Nobody's secretly paying us to say anything. What you're getting is just our opinion, our information. Although I'll tell you, I think it's very high quality. I'll say that.
And nobody else is doing it. No one that you can watch any other YouTube channel out there. No, I've not seen anybody else trying to really help the public out there.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
to find the best price.
And we might get sponsored. We might get sponsored sometime. You and I talked about this the other day, and we've had the opportunity to be sponsored. Absolutely, right? Many times. But if and when I decide to do that, the quality of the information that I'm going to provide is not going to change, right? I could say, hey, you'll get a good quality service from this company, but I still encourage you to shop around. So anyway.
Right, and I'll touch that on too. And this, by the way, before I make a comment on what you just said, how many likes do you have, Ron?
141.
Well, can we get to 200 so we can get the nose bell? Let's everybody tap the like.
Here's the nose.
Let's all tap the likes.
This came from Daryl Grover, and that's the new nose. That's an eyeglass holder for ringing the bell. We'll see if we get there, Chris.
Yeah, so I mean, this one more quick thing. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but if we do get sponsored by somebody out there,
right?
And I'm going to be very truthful right now. I don't care what company it is. If some other company's cheaper, I'm going to tell you that company's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I am. I'm going to be very transparent with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm putting a lot of time into this, trying to find the deals for everybody out there. If they want them, great. If they don't, fine.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'll let you go, Ron.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. So I'll get off and I'm on the chat now.
All right, Chris. See you, bud. Thank you.
Right.
See you later.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, see you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, somebody commented, yes, I did. I had a 3-month sponsorship with a mining company, First Mining Gold. It's a company that I've followed for years. I'm very friendly with the CEO and a number of the people there. Keith Neumeyer is the chairman of the board of the company, and I may renew that. We're talking tomorrow. We'll see how that all goes. But I really, and I enjoyed that sponsorship, and I totally believe in that company, and I own a ton of the stock myself. That was I've been approached so many times by companies that wanted me to make videos about other junior mining companies. And when I looked at the companies, I was like, I wouldn't buy the stock, so I'm not going to talk about it to my audience. I will talk about First Mining Gold even now when I'm not sponsored. I think they're a high quality, great value opportunity. I could be wrong, right? It could become a better value. But that's what I see, and I feel comfortable saying that to you. And no, I don't have a crystal ball. And yes, you could buy the stock and it could go up 10 times in value. You could buy the stock and it could go down 40% in value. So anyway, not to get off on that one, but I will only ever accept sponsorships, and I've turned down probably 50 of them now, with products or companies or services that I would buy myself, that I would feel 100% comfortable saying, yes, guys, I think this is a good deal. I'm always happy to share my opinion on anything with you guys. Don't forget, we're going to have a question and answer period at the end. Let me just run through a few more of these points that's going on in the silver market. I haven't seen the recent data, but the premiums, the amount of money paid for silver in China was at a premium, to what it was selling for on the COMEX and the LBMA. That's very interesting. The Chinese are screaming about silver, that they need more silver. They need the price to be higher because they need it. Because you know why? They're making more and more solar panels, right, every year. So think about this. Let this sink in. I think compared to a year ago, it was up like 30%. They made 30% more solar panels, okay? Solar panels all have silver in them, and the new generation of silver panels have even more silver per panel. So you got more being made, and they need more silver for each panel. So there's a big point of contention between China and the United States and the West, I guess you would say, when it comes to our old friend silver. I want to get back to Jerome real quick. Just think about this. He went to Congress this week, and all he talked about was inflation, and we're going to control. If inflation was such a big concern for him and such a big deal, right? Why did he pause? Let that sink in for a second. Watch what they do not what they say, because we know from history that what they say is usually either a lie or wrong. So what do they do? Not what they say. We got to remember that. Silver, yeah, it's been dropping, and CoinShop Chris and I talked about this, and I hear other people saying that premiums have pulled back a little bit, and I guess they have, but premiums are still pretty darn high on silver. I find that to be very interesting. We could have massive inflation with food and oil. Either one of those in the next 6 months could prove, or both, either or both could prove to be highly inflationary. Food or oil. Those are the two critical. What are the two? Think about this for a second. I want you to let this sink in. What are the two most critical things that we have, that we need as society, as humans right now? We need food, right? Which helps us create energy. And we need oil, which is energy. Oil is everything and everywhere, all around you. A lot of what you're looking at, a lot of that big stuffed bear is probably made out of oil. A lot of your phone is made out of oil. A lot of your computer, plastic is all made from oil, okay? Remember that, what was that movie from the 60s where the guy said plastics, it's the wave of the future, and it's true. And not just that, but it fuels everything. Like, I forget the statistic, but like the amount of man work hours that are contained in 1 barrel of oil, I think it was like 1,100 or something. So, it's so important. Hey, silver price is up. Thank you, Fast Landing. Fast Landing came through. Your beer can is not, hey, Sharon. Oh, that's for Chris. All right. Thank you, Chris. Helped me out a lot. Yeah. CoinShop Chris is always willing to help. If you want to get in touch with him, you can do that via me, but he's not going to sell you anything. Imagine that. Somebody who's genuinely willing to help you out, who's not going to sell you anything. Yes, even this channel, right? Like, I'm not selling you anything. We make a little bit of money from Google for the ads that they run, but I'm not going to try. There's no sales pitch coming, guys. No link for you to go to. I think I've sold a grand total of like 5 shirts and 2 coffee mugs, right? I mean, I don't even push that stuff. It's there, whatever, So thank you. Thank you, Sharon, for the super chat. You've been a great supporter of the channel, and we appreciate it. Hello, Matt Tyndall. Hi, Ones Drifter Kent. Clean water. Good point. We need food, water. That's what we really need, shelter. And then we do need energy. Energy really helps us out as a society. Hey, on August 1st, I'm going to have a special guest. Lynette Zhang is going to be joining me here in Ron's basement. So if you guys think about anything you want me to ask Lynette, please, let me know. She's a well-known proponent for silver and gold, and we're super excited that we get the opportunity to join us. All right, Blaine's busting my chops here. Yes, I did make a video in the past about B7000 glue, my favorite glue. I know Susie doesn't like it really well because she tried to use it to glue my lips shut once, and I broke free and continued to talk. But I'm a big fan of B7000 glue. Gary DeVecchio, it's weird that everyone wants silver and the cost of producing it must be up. How could the price be down? Yeah, there's a new data out from SRS Rocco regarding silver that in 2022 it cost $20.50. I'm just from memory to produce an ounce of silver. Silver miners aren't making any money, guys. Go look at any of their income statements. They're not making profit. They're struggling to break even, okay? That's what's going on right now. But what does that mean for the future of the price of silver? The silver miners aren't making any money. Guess what? They're pulling back on exploration. They're pulling back on the amount of money that they would be spending if they had it to expand their mines, to expand their operations. Silver production is going down. It has for the last couple of years. Excuse me. Granted, not significantly, but silver production's not going up while demand has gone through the roof. And here's another interesting point that nobody's talking about. India last year imported 300 million ounces of silver. Isn't that crazy? And they've basically imported nothing this year. A lot of people are saying that the second half of the year, India is going to resume their large imports of silver. The younger people in India loves gold. Did you know this? Would you believe me if I told you that Indian households alone have 25,000 metric tons of gold? Do you know that's more than 3 times the amount of gold that the United States supposedly has in Fort Knox? Think about that. Let that sink in for a minute, okay? And they're starting to love silver as well. Wow. The silver market's tiny compared to gold. Think about what the Indian people could do to silver. We love Indian people. My kids went to school with some Indian families. I have Indian neighbors. They're wonderful, good people. I love them even super double bonus when they're buying a bunch of silver, right? I mean, come on, man. Uh-oh, somebody says there's no gold in Fort Knox. Oh, Daryl, come on, man. I'm just joking. Yes, I know there's definitely a portion of the population that does not believe that there's gold at Fort Knox. Lord Humongous says there's 27 million ounces on the Crimex. What's the Crimex? Did you misspell Comex? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's hardly any gold. I mean, like almost all-time low levels or historically low levels. It's like the opposite of that dollar graph I was telling you. There's hardly any silver at the big electronic exchanges. And people are pulling it off and pulling it off. And those are big money buyers, right? Those are 1,000-ounce bars. They cost what? $22,500 each, right? What does that tell us? Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. And they are pulling silver out of the big electronic exchanges. The LBMA, our friends over in London, England, they're in the same boat, right? Their vault level, their warehouse levels are near historic lows. A lot of funny business going on. Everybody's like, well, everybody's grabbing the silver and gold. A lot of it, and this is a theory, that a lot of it's heading over to the east. They're saying that with gold as well, right? I don't know. It's getting interesting. August 22nd is now the biggest day in the universe ever for precious metals, gold and silver. Matt Tyndall says, I don't think that Ron is making a ton of money doing this for us. We need to help him out with more likes and getting more shares. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yes, thank you. Because that's true. I'm not making a ton of money doing this, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. Life is good. I have another little job I do. I'm in good shape, right? I don't have any debt. I'm fortunate for that. Won't you be my neighbor? Well, somebody was complaining about Mr. Rogers, but I'm going to tell you guys, this is the Mr. Rogers neighborhood. We're like a little community of people who love silver and love gold. That's it, right? And we disagree on a lot of things. No problemo. But we all pretty much agree on our love and that we're silver and gold enthusiasts. We agree on that. The other way I like to sum it up, it's like we're all sitting around a campfire right now. We're at Silver and Gold Summer Camp. Wouldn't that be nice? We had our learning sessions. We had some fun. We did a little panning for gold. We did a little silver mining. We're hanging out talking about what we love, right? Which is silver and gold. We love our families more. We love, some of you might love God or whoever your higher power is, whatever. That's great, okay? But we also have a real affinity for precious metals, okay? Yeah, it's an interesting time. So yeah, Lynette Zhang is going to be on August 1st. Don't forget, if you have any questions for her, what's the minimum amount of silver or gold that you should hold? I get that question now on a regular basis. I always just roughly say 6 months worth of your current living expenses. What do you spend? How much money did you spend on average over the last 6 months? And I would take that in whatever currency you use, dollars, euros, yen, whatever, and buy or have that much. Because if things get really rough out there, right, or things get moderately rough, you'll have enough that it'll be a big, good deal for you, right? On top of that, if things get really crazy and we get this like spike, like super spike in metals prices, because all those other people, remember you, right? You watching right now, joining me, you're like 1 in 100 people, maybe, right? And when it turns into like 5 in 100 people, there's not going to be any metals left, and the price will just absolutely skyrocket, because that marginal part of demand for silver and gold and platinum and palladium, it's not going to take a lot. It's not a big, guys, think about this. On an annual basis, there's about 1 billion ounces of silver. We'll talk about silver produced. 1 billion. Like 850 from the mining operations and another 150 million from recycling, let's just say roughly. But there's about 1 billion ounces. That's according to the Silver Institute's 2022 report. That's only $22 billion. That's not a huge amount of money when you're thinking about a wave of people coming in and joining us on the silver and gold boat, trying to get on our little boat, right? Huh? Interesting. Why do we believe that report? Well, that's a good question, Neil. But that's about the only report I have when it comes to production numbers. So, maybe it's lower, right? Maybe it's higher. Neil says 1 in 1,000. Maybe. Guys, like we're all together right now, right? Sunday night, we're talking about silver and gold. We're interested. We probably are 1 in 1,000 people. And when people get scared and the normies who never want to hear you talk about silver or gold, right? When they start joining us, it could be a big, 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 big deal. We have a ship now, Ron. Yes. That's right, Snakebite. That's right. Nose bell. Oh, we're almost there. Hey, guys, let's get us to 200. And I'll ring the bell with the old nose. Huh? 200 thumbs up. What do you say? That would be awesome. Everybody's flooding into Bitcoin. Yeah, I think Bitcoin. 199. I think Bitcoin is fake. Okay, here we go. Tube 2. Can you see it? Oh, yeah, you can see it. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Okay. Yeah, everybody, I think Bitcoin and crypto, I still say, I've never heard a straight story on who really created it and where it came from. And I think it's being used as a relief valve. And it definitely has diverted some money from precious metals. And I'm not a big fan. I could be wrong, right? Maybe it really is the wave of the future. CoinShop Chris says Bitcoin is unicorn for dust. Ron, Gary K. All right, guys, time for some questions and answers. All caps if you have something you want me to talk about or a question. And we will do it. CoinShop Chris says, put a Bitcoin on your phone and see if it works. The new name for the Federal Reserve, Titanic. Jerome says, over time, we use the tools. It is sticky inflation, persisting over time. We will fix it. Steve Jobs might have been the creator. What's your Addy, Ron? I don't know what that means, Gene. I'm lost on that one. I don't speak Japanese. Central. Good one, Carl. Stenbeck, I like that. Invest in crypto if you want to put your money into something that will never lose value. You're in the right place. Forget anything that has to do with electricity and grid goes out. Not what, okay? When do we get a platinum bear? Yeah, we'll have to talk to Neil about that. I think Neil, Han Dynasty, he gets to name the platinum bear and he gets to name the price that we write on the Platinum Bear's blindfold. What do you guys think? Neil has done some tireless work on behalf of the platinum community. So I think that's the least we could do. Did Susie burn your red shirt? Yeah, no, I'm wearing the Unicorn Fart Dust shirt today that was given to me by a viewer. because I didn't have a white T-shirt. But Old Red's right here. Here he is. Don't worry. I'll be back. Oh, yeah, this is great. 5. I don't know, Susan Shaw, why the premium's higher on Australian Perth Mint coins. I don't know. Hey, Linda, thank you. Wow. Really appreciate that, Linda. Always very touching when you guys give me a little super chat. Thank you, Linda, and thank you for your support, and thank you for being here right now. All right, Astras. How about platinum chicken that lays eggs? That's pretty good. Neil's trying to throw us off the gold track. Gene. Yeah, Gene, send me an email, ronsbasementsilver@gmail.com. Okay? Neil, don't forget, I want you to start thinking about a name and an amount for the Platinum Bear. You'll have him. He's all yours. All right. Yes, thank you, Linda. What gold coins? Paul, I do not have any gold coins. I have a ton of gold mining stocks. That's my exposure to gold. So some of you may or may not agree with that approach. I have silver, and probably right now, my favorites are the ones that were given to me by viewers. This one came from Snakebite. It's got a unicorn on it. Isn't that cool? I mean, am I lucky or what? Coin Shop Chris gave me a nice round. When it comes to sovereign coins, I'm probably right now a little partial to the South African Kruger ant. I don't know why. That's probably my favorite right now. That old guy. Look at him. Isn't that pretty? I don't have any gold coins. I have some tiny little gold bars, tiny like grains or something like that. But I'm not a gold stacker. So, all right, guys, the Kruger ants. Hey, thank you, Snakebite. Kruger ants have nice ridges. Love the Krugers. You got it, Gene. All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. It's been great, as always, and you know that I will see you soon. I want to read Matt Tyndall's comment here. He loves Lynette Zhang. She's smart, and I listen to every word she says. Yeah, cool. Yes, that'll be a fun interview. You got it, Daryl. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Paul. Southern Manitoba. And you kind of like Ron. Yeah, I kind of like Ron too. But trust me, there's parts of Ron I don't like. So Plutus, the name for Platinum Bear. Plutus, all right. That's a good one, Neil. Plutus. I have to see if I can snag a bear from my daughter's bedroom. Plutus the Platinum Bear, named by Neil Hahn. Now, Neil, you need to think about a price that we're going to put on his blindfold, okay? Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Coin Shop Chris, for all your help, okay? See you, Gary. And you guys, everybody, Snakebite, Robert, Paul, Linda, thank you for the super chats. Much appreciated. I want you to have a good night, and I'll see you guys soon.